911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
All I can remember is flipping the light on, and I see this creature, and I knew in my heart, I knew in my mind, in the whole mind, this isn't a man.
Went to look forward, and there was a big black thing, is all I can call it, that was in midair going across the road in front of me.
And then this thing walks across the road, takes a turn towards us, and then leaps over a guardrail. And the whole time, the whole thing was shadowing us, right behind us, right on the side of us. You could kind of see the thing moving through the woods.
There are thousands of perfect people whose word would be good on any other subject who describe getting a good look at an enormous hair-covered upright animal. And that is a fact.
Don't give me a snap.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to SquatchD-TV for today's date, December 29th, 2019. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective Steve Kulls, along with the guy beneath me, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Steve, was I hearing things, or on the end of the intro there, did I hear somebody say, Joan, get me a Snapple?
You sure did. Snuck that one right in there.
I was wondering about it. So am I hearing things or what? That's good. I like that.
Yeah, well, you know, and it just so happens it comes out when it says hoaxers and charlatans exposed. So let's get a round of hellos. Hello to Eric Altman. Hello,
hey,
Eric. Good to see you, my brother.
Welcome.
And we have Nani Whitewave.
Nani?
And hey, Steve from Greenfield Center. Hello, a local.
Right.
Hello. Greenfield Center is right next door to me. Sassy Squatch Girl. Hello. Cryptidville. Good evening.
Hey, Cryptidville. Yeah.
Michael, how are you, my brother?
Tack.
Walt, good evening, Walt. And of course, Suzanne. Hello,
Suzanne. Welcome back, Suzanne.
And Cryptidville has a public service announcement. This broadcast is sponsored by Snapple.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's too funny. I'll tell you right there.
Diet Peach Snapple.
That's right. As usual, our friends on YouTube, if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, hit that bell, and subscribe. We appreciate it so much. We've been doing the social media blitz, getting this show out on Instagram. Well, we're not broadcasting on Instagram, but getting the advertisements on Instagram and Tumblr and Reddit, and we're getting all that out there, and so people know we're here. So heck of a show lineup today. Of course, this is the last show of the year.
Yeah, you know,
2019 is in the can, man.
I was getting used to writing 2019 down for the date too, you know, and now as soon as I get used to it, now I'm going to switch over to 2020. But that's okay, you know. I'll take another year.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the interesting thing about 2019 is that people that see these Bigfoot photos a lot of them don't seem to have 2020 vision, because they're like, oh, I see highs.
Oh yeah. Well, that pareidolia thing, you know, it'll drive me crazy.
Drives me nuts. But anyway, hey, you know what we're having here right now? An ice storm.
Oh, really? Well, it's raining here. I mean, but, you know, it's been in the 60s here lately. We had a green Christmas.
And more people are marching in. Hello, Ron. How are you, my brother?
Welcome, Ron. Welcome.
Kenny, how are you? Good to see you. So anyway, we always like doing stuff for fun, too. And, well, absolutely. Nani, just get on my Facebook, or you can email me at admin@squatchdetective.com. Squatchdetective.com. You can hit the contact button too.
Very cool.
And you can get in touch with me. I love to see them.
Yeah.
And hey, you know, that's pretty close by. So
Under the apple tree.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just like, if people notice me, I'm looking over here. That's because I'm looking at the material that we're going to put on the screen tonight. So, and the way the studio is set up is, I look forward. I can see my camera up here. That's actually the camera I'm looking into is actually being controlled by a computer that's over there.
Yeah.
And so is the mic. And the what I'm looking at is the bulletin, the board, and I can see all the comments coming in between Facebook and YouTube. I can't see folks there out in Twitter that are watching. I can't see your comments on Twitter. So really, the best way to go is either Facebook or YouTube. A lot of people prefer YouTube. Again, if I haven't said it, hit the bell, give us a thumbs up, subscribe.
Please, yeah.
Did I say that already? I think I did. Anyway, but I also want to say, hey, we're up over 400 subscribers on YouTube now. So
good
thank
deal.
you guys for
Hey, that's good for us,
Yeah, and thank you for keeping on.
We appreciate it.
But collectively, we have 4,700, almost 4,800 potential viewers on Twitter, and another 4,900 some odd viewers on Facebook.
Cool.
And then we have the websites and stuff. And there's Aaron. Good to see you, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
So, see that? She has my business card. Well, give me a call, please. I'd love to see it. Text them to me.
Deal.
Just not during the show, because that gets But Chris and I were talking, and we're kind of in a good mood. It's the last show of the year. We got to have a little levity with things, a little fun with things. And that's what this show is going to be about tonight. We do have some stuff that, we're going to have some fun with some of this stuff tonight. We have the 2019 Squatchin' Top 10 list, what I love to call the Squatchin' Top 10. The top 10, what I feel, and that's the beauty of this, is that afterwards you guys can tell me what you think may or may not have been on the list.
Yeah.
It's a conversation. We're having a conversation with you, the audience. That's what we want. That's the whole idea of this new concept we have, is that we want to talk with you, and we can do that via the chat here, which is wonderful. Yeah. So, but without any further ado, I'd like to talk about Wausau, Wisconsin. And I don't know if many people have seen it, but this is going to be kind of funny. But there's an ordinance about projectiles there.
Yeah.
And somebody in the media, and talk about media getting it wrong, which we've talked about in the past, them getting like the Patterson, Gimlin, Ray Wallace story mixed up.
Yeah.
Well, Patterson died in 1992. No, that was Ray
Wallace.
That kind of thing. Well, in this case, the media got it all wrong, said that the law was recently enacted. It wasn't. They said that you can't have a snowball fight. So the funny thing is the police department put a video out, and it's pretty hysterical, and not many people have seen this. And just like I said, today is just for fun for this particular thing. And then we're going to get on to the Bigfoot program. But I thought everybody deserves to get a little laugh and a little enjoyment out of this. So here is the video. Here we go.
Hey, that's not funny yet. I'm still trying to figure this out. Hey, Wausau City Ordinance 9.08.020. Throwing or shooting of arrows, stones, and other missiles prohibited. No person shall throw or shoot any object, that one was close, arrow, stone, snowball, or missile, or projectile by hand or any other means at any other person or at or into any building, street, sidewalk, alley, highway, park, playground, or other public place within the city. This subsection shall not apply to archery ranges under the supervision of the Park and Recreation Committee, nor shall it apply to the bow hunting provisions within 9.08.010. The reason we're down here on this 34-degree day, which by the way is the perfect temperature for packing a snowball, is to address some of the inaccurate news that has been reported nationally about the city of Wausau. These news sources stated that we had a brand new ordinance enacted by our mayor prohibiting having a snowball fight. First, the ordinance that I just read was enacted by our Wausau Common Council in 1962, long before I was even born. Now, this ordinance that we have was put in place for a good reason. It's for the safety of our community. Oh, here comes the mayor.
Now, you know that poor bastard was getting hit a dozen times while he's trying to say that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wausau. Hello, I'm Robert Mielke, Mayor of the great city of Wausau. Recently, a national magazine or media source had mentioned that Wausau is not a fun city. That can't be true.
As I was saying, this ordinance is in place for the safety of our community. The Wausau Police Department has used this ordinance and issued citations about 10 times in the last 15 years. And over that time, only on 2 occasions has it been used to address people throwing snowballs. In both those occasions, the individuals throwing snowballs were throwing them at moving cars driving down the roadways. In the other occasions where this ordinance has been utilized, we have people shooting crossbows in their yards and having the arrows or bolts fly out of their yard, landing in neighbors' yards and burying themselves in their trees. It's been used for people throwing heavy sandbags off the roof of parking ramps in our area, with people walking on the sidewalks below them. This ordinance is there for the safety of our community. There's ordinances like this throughout the United States. The idea that someone picked up on this information and decided to write a factually inaccurate article that has national implications is absurd, and it's insulting to this community. The reason we're here today is because, unfortunately, that story went viral, and we feel the need to correct it. In case that's not clear to individuals in our community, a fun snowball fight is a fun snowball fight, and that's not something we enforce this ordinance with. On the other hand, throwing snowballs at people that may not want it. Oh! That one got away from me.
We do like to have a great time here in the city of Wausau. There's a lot of good things in our city, great people, great employees, and a wonderful place to live.
Well, that was a fastball at close range.
Well, that was something else.
That was good. Oh, you know, I had heard this on the news. They were talking about, oh, it's not a fun place to live. You can't have a snowball fight. So yeah, we needed to get this out.
Oh, that, you know, the whole, he turned around and you could tell by his reaction, he wasn't trying to peg the mayor in the back of the head, but he did.
Yeah. Oh, he got him good. I mean, whoo. Right at the collar zone too. You know, so that snow is going down the back of his shirt. You know.
But that was the fun. That was a fun thing. I figured everybody get a chuckle out of that. One of the things that I get a chuckle out is this picture that comes out on the comes out on the web. It's this famous British Columbia hunter captures a Bigfoot, and you see the Bigfoot hanging. So,
oh yeah, mystery solved, huh? Yeah, look at that.
And good evening, Ed. How are you tonight, sir? But yeah, look at that. But actually, thanks to Carl Schuker, he's a cryptozoologist. He debunked this pretty easy, because just to put this to rest, because I see this probably about 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Or somebody asking me, hey, what'd you think of this? Well, this is what I think of this. This is the real picture. It's a bear. So, wah.
Oh man, you know what? This is probably like a Men in Black thing. They probably photoshopped the bear over the Bigfoot.
Yep. I just I don't know why people do it.
There's another one out there too, and if anybody sees it, I'm sure you guys have already seen it though. About the Civil War veteran guys with the
pterodactyl.
Yeah, the pterodactyl. I don't want to break this up for you, but that's probably a fake too. Hi, Sherry.
So, and yeah. So, well, anyway, I just wanted to get this bit of information out there that, hey, this picture is junk. Here's the real picture. There's even writing on the side, Alaska, year, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you see, Nani says that's Squatch. Whoops. Men in Black. Men in Black.
Yeah.
That Squatch must have taken his jerky. Hello. Terrible fake pic. Yeah. So usually we have the new, that famous internet meme. There we go. So we'll put that one up there. No, it's a hoax by someone who smells like a Sasquatch. So we'll put that one up there. So anyway, so I think it's time for the top 10, Chris.
All right, let's do it. Man.
Let's do it. Top 10 time, folks. Here we go. The 2019 Squatchin' Top 10. Here we go. Well, folks, it's the last show of the year, so you know what that means. It's time for the year in review and the 2019 Squatchin' Top 10 list. Yes, some of these gems shouldn't have made the list at all, but for whatever reason, the media picked up on it. So here we go, once again, coming into a whole new decade starting next year, the 2019 Squatchin' Top 10. Number 10, Bigfoot Strikeout. When professional baseball player Jordy Mercer decided to post trail cam pictures on his property of an alleged Bigfoot. Well, as I've said before, we've all seen this suit before. So this one makes it in at number 10. And Jordy, please stick to playing baseball. Number 9, worst Bigfoot video ever. Yes, this video went viral, claiming it was the best ever Bigfoot sighting. This guy Josh needs to find a new job. Number 8, Bad Daisy. Don Teague and his dog destroy a set of tracks as the story goes viral.
This is my shoe prints here, but you can see right there. Rain's messed it up. That's it, that's my shoe print. See right there? Damn it. I stepped on that one there. And I screwed that one up. Daisy, don't step. Ah. Damn it, Daisy.
Number 7, Bobo and Cliff start a podcast. Finally a positive story to make it into the top 10. Yes, Cliff and Bobo started a podcast, of course, of Finding Bigfoot fame. It's called Bigfoot and Beyond. Search the internet to find it today. Number 6, is it worth the hype? Yes, there's a new show on the Travel Channel. It's called Expedition Bigfoot. Is it worth it? Don't know. The reviews so far have been mixed. Number 5, Misery Loves Company. That's right, the dynamic duo of Mike Patterson and Daryl Strummer back fresh off their 2016-2017 feud, where Daryl confessed everything here is bullshit.
Can you say I am a good boy? I am a good boy. Can you say I am natural? I am not real.
Number 3, Canadian vocalizations. I meant to say number 4. Okay, folks, this may or may not be a Sasquatch, but it certainly is the purest thing we've heard in the field in a while. Number 3, the Hatfields versus the McBigfoots. That's right, this story set off a media sensation where a guy takes a shot at a Bigfoot, but not before warning a couple of very scared campers. Mammoth Cave National Park, Kentucky. Hi, Chris Bennett. Number 2, J. Edgar Sasquatch. With much media fanfare, the FBI released a 1976 document recording Peter Burns' request to check some hair samples, which turned out to be ungulate. Number 1, missing 411. Well, sort of. Yes, the biggest story of the year was that there was no story involving Todd Standing, Tom Biscardi, or even, as promised, Rick Dyer. I'm hoping next year that these guys won't even be on a list of any sort. Well, folks, that's the SquatchD-TV's 2019 Squatchin' Top 10. Was there something on the list that should have been there, or maybe something on the list that shouldn't have been there? Well, that's what this show is about. Let's discuss this right now. And there you have it. The top 10. And I agree with Suzanne that it sounds very houndish to me, though, that Canadian audio. But like I said, it's the purest thing we've had to come hit the media in a long time.
It was interesting, you know, that audio is interesting. I'm still interested in that.
It just shows you how distorted a sound can get, you know, after echoing, you know, and re-echoing and bouncing off of canyon walls.
Right.
So Ed says he loves number 1. Collectively, they're all number 2, though. But yeah, so you know, 10 was the Bigfoot, the baseball Bigfoot, and I remember that. And the reason why that made the list, well, it caught a lot of attention, you know. And that's unfortunate. It caught a lot of attention. Let's get rid of some of these other pictures. They just tend to stack up around here. But yeah, the oops, that's the wrong graphic, but now's the time to pitch that since I put the wrong graphic up. That's right. Starting after January 1st, first week of January, I'll be doing a video blog once a week right here using StreamYard to do a video blog and whatever pisses me off that week, I suppose. That's the banner I meant to put up. There we go. That's better.
Well, the baseball guy photo I thought was going to be Rick Dyer again, you know, because that's his suit, you know.
Yeah. Hey, look. Our good friend Irish said, sounds like Steve at last call at the bar.
Yeah, Irish.
Walt says Jordy Mercer was a poor baseball player, obviously.
He's trying to make his fame and fortune in the Bigfoot sighting community, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a good one too. And you know, was that the North American Bigfoot Collection Museum opens up in Boring, Oregon, by Cliff and Melissa Barrickman, and that's a horrible name for a town, Boring.
Yeah, it is, because you know I've been through Oregon. I love that place, man. You know, of course, you know I'm from Kentucky. All right, I like hills, I like trees, and Oregon is beautiful. It's got a lot of mountains in there. Beautiful area. That is an unfortunate name for the town, though.
Yeah,
it is. But I don't blame Cliff for wanting to live there. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it too.
And that's why they call it Boring. No, I don't know. But actually, Nani, right? Rick Dyer's pick is on the back of a milk. Isn't on the back of a milk carton yet. If there's one person in the Bigfoot community I could do without, it's him. Yes, all of us could do it. He's not really in the community now. He's selling cars. So yep,
and that's fine. Yeah,
that's fine, as long as he's not, you know. What else? Yeah. So Jordy Mercer was an interesting. I mean, but it didn't take long. And then there was the Don Teague video. And
yeah. He got a trackway of a Bigfoot hopping on 1 foot, right?
Well, let's just put all that aside for a second.
Oh, okay.
Remember, he did have that like stumpy Bigfoot there that wasn't really moving, and he said it was moving. But the here's my point. If you're going to put a video out there, why in the world would you release a video that has you, pardon the French, fucking up all those tracks?
Yeah.
I hate to be blunt, but that is exactly what happened there. Why would you keep that in the video? I'd be like, oh, Daisy screwed that up. Let me just get the dog out of the way. I'll fix it. All right, I'm good.
We're gonna edit that out.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that some bitch right out of there. So why in the world would anybody do that? I don't know.
It just could have been an accident,
Well, it was a couple accidents. First, he had an accident and stepped in one. The rain ruined the first one. Chris, Steve. I know everybody wants me to get to that one now, right? Yeah. Right, and we'll have that up there in a second. You guys are going to appreciate the graphic on that one. Don't worry. Then we had the good old Bigfoot rip. Remember, we spotted that really for the first time on this show.
Yeah. And
of course, not only did I add the graphic and where the rip is, but I wanted to add put a Yeti in there laughing at it. A real Yeti. At least a realer Yeti than the one that's in the picture.
Yeah. He's no more fake than what we're looking at there.
Good one, Chris. But yet there's another one. And it's sad that the top 10 has to deal with a lot of this crap. Like Sleeping Beauty and his friend there. On the left is Mike Patterson, and on the right is Daryl Strum. And these are the guys that make Sasquatch Ontario. And for people who don't know, they had a huge falling out in 2017 because Daryl was probably getting cut out of the money. And, because Patterson had some GoFundMe pages and whatever. Oh, support good. And, we've seen, if you go to the Hall of Shame, you'll see the videos of, where he's actually doing these little things right across the street from the cabin up on a hill.
Yeah.
And, in this, the picture on the left of Patterson was entitled by Daryl Strum, and it was entitled Mike sleeping in his tent. And it was actually him sleeping in the cabin. And, so when are these characters going to stop?
Yeah.
But they're back. So I'm sure it'll be much more fun. But to me, I look at it this way. What's been said, it's been said. There ain't nothing they're going to do that's going to make any more lists. They're back. Yep. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not paying attention to them. And hopefully a hell of a lot of other people aren't. Yep. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Right.
There was a very close call between this one and the Tracheon invading the area where Zorth lives in the woods of Oregon, or so saith the gospel of Dr. Matt Johnson.
Oh man.
So that is
I don't know what's the worst, a couple of hokers feuding or the Bigfoot cult gonna heal you with gonna heal your high blood pressure with the magic Bigfoot.
Man, my husband could never smile, but now all he does is smile.
Yeah, wonderful.
So that one really was pretty close. I thought about it. Oh no, not Zorth. Yeah, see, we are running a little bit. There is like a 10-second delay from when we talk, Chris, to what gets to
okay
the public. So sometimes that's the reason why we segue in. We segue into these other topics, and people are asking questions about what we just talked about. So I think we have to pace ourselves a little bit slower, just because we're faster than the internet. So yeah, we're having fun tonight. Of course, like I said, Bobo and Cliff started a podcast.
That's a good note.
I haven't really listened to. I mean, as screwed up as it sounds, I do a podcast, but I have zero time to really listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah,
I have about 4 or 5 different projects going on right now.
Yeah,
and some of them are very interesting. So I'm going to segue to that over. But of course, just so you know, Chris, I'm going to make this announcement tonight before anybody, so you hear it first from me. But I am 73 pages into my 3rd book.
Oh, good.
And don't ask me what the title is. I have a running title. I don't know if it's going to stay that. So, hey, there's Jimmy Trick. Hello, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Us folks down here in Kentucky talk a little slow sometimes, especially when the hill wine is present.
Yeah, homemade wine.
That's right. Yep. And Suzanne says excellent information on their podcast, fun to listen to.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I consider Cliff Barrickman, a good friend. I like his ideas, and I like the way he talks. And Bobo is just a hoot, I can't imagine. I'm glad to I want to check their podcast out.
No, Irish. 70 of them are pictures. Yeah, I'm making a coloring book. See what I mean about things catching up, and we have to go back now.
A Bigfoot coloring book with numbers, color by the numbers. Yeah, okay, Steve. Just yeah.
Oh.
You okay?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think the mic is waterproof. The dog, however, is.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
So, hello, Larry. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Larry.
Thanks for stopping in. If you like what you hear tonight, hit that bell, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe, or if you hate it,
appreciate it, man. Yeah, smash that thumbs up button. If you don't like it, you can smash the thumbs down. But we appreciate the the thumbs up.
Thumbs down, we will hunt you down. No,
we try. We try. We really try. But
but tonight's the New Year's party, brother. Tonight's the New Year's party. So a little levity tonight.
I might have to break open a jug of homemade wine here somewhere. I've got one cooking somewhere around here.
No, see, Walt has got an idea. Yeah, a Bigfoot activity book with mazes and connected dots. No,
that is good.
And no, instead of mazes and connected dots, how about stick structures and connected glyphs?
Walt, you've given me an idea. I might do a book now, but I was thinking more or less a pop-up book with smells.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It'll be mainly red circles. It'll be an activity. Spot the blob squatch.
There you go. Hey, we used to do that on the forum. It was fun.
Circle the blob squatches. It comes with a red marker. If you buy the book, it comes with a free red marker.
Yeah. Oh man.
Hello, Angie. Good to see you.
Hi, Angie.
But yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, we used to do that over on the old Bigfoot forums, man, back in the day.
I think I found the dartboard for the activity book right there.
Oh no.
Or how about this one? we're gonna save the Godfather for last. Trust me. Oh boy.
Oh. So, but now we did used to have a good time with blob squatches. Everybody would put a picture up, and then everybody would take and circle the Bigfoot that they could see, the blob squatch, and it was interesting. Fun game.
There it is. I was looking for this. That's right. So yeah, I think you'll find a lot of fun information on Cliff and Bobo's podcast. They're class acts, And so of course, one of them was one of our top 10 was the hubbub about Expedition Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have been very negative to it. And number one is when you do a show, you got to have, and this is from what I'm hearing, you got to have people that have, a little bit of a character to it. Like Bobo is a cartoon, for crying out loud. Right? Very popular with the kids.
Yeah.
Cliff was kind of the nerdy guy. It was the facts. Matt was the high strung, and Renee was the naysayer. You had a nice balance of characters for a show there.
Yeah.
And Walt is you're not holding back. He's Expedition of the joke. Okay.
Well.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing is when the first episode came out, I didn't put this out here, but a Finding Bigfoot cast member actually put his review in, and
let's see what Matt has to say. Yeah. Wow. Oh.
Yeah, that one was ugly. Ugly. But here's the other thing. And then this post that came out on Facebook on Expedition Big. The pond was supposed to be 6 miles walk from base camp. Why are there tire tracks that seem pretty fresh?
No, yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing though. I would have been kind of pissy about that myself. But what probably happened there, and I'm only speculating this, is that on a 6 mile hike, they didn't really have that much video of them actually hiking in.
Yeah.
So what they do is they do a little recreation stuff and patch that in. A lot of folks don't know that when I did Monster Quest, there was a scene where I ran down a hill and you could see the actual director was right behind me with a light, and the cameraman was trying to then it was a sound man, and then it was a cameraman. We were all trying to run down the hill.
Right.
And then there's a cut to my feet running in the woods. Well, we cut that a couple of days after that had happened.
Oh,
and they spliced that in because they wanted to make it seem like they were running along with me.
Right.
When we did, and this is just TV magic. And Kenny says, I think Moneymaker's upset they didn't spend the $300 to join the BFRO. Well, you don't spend $300 to join the BFRO. That's by invitation only, and it doesn't cost anything to belong to the BFRO. Actually, however, it does cost money to be on the expedition, and they really don't allow many people unless you've been on a BFRO expedition. Present company excluded. But a little bit of TV magic is recreations. So when I think, they just caught this part, which was probably blurbed in to make it look like, looks like they're being followed into the woods, and there just happened to be a bad area to take a shot. And I don't know why nobody would have picked up on that. Like the director should have picked up on, wait a minute, we can't do this here. There's tire tracks there. So that was just, bad cinematography. What I think there is, that's a cut in. I mean, I'll give you another great example on my Monster Quest when we're all talking on the radios and we hear this howl. The only person that was being filmed the time that actually happened was me. The NES members who were responding actually recreated it later that night so they could splice it into the real video. And they did, credit to Mike Wafer, who was the director. He did not elaborate or did not, exaggerate the language between, the four different parties that were on the radio that night.
Yeah.
Everything was the same. That's how it went. 1, 2, 3.
Well, see, that's a difference. That's just editing for the content of the show.
Right.
But now, if your show says, we hiked in 6 miles and then you see tire tracks right there. Well, you know, that gives me a couple of questions, like why would they be hiking if they could drive it? You know, and
exactly.
why did they hike it if they could drive it?
And all I think that is okay. We didn't really get a picture of you guys walking in the woods, so we want to get some picture of you, you two walking together to recreate the scenario.
Very well could have been, yeah.
And then you have a director that failed to notice that there were tire tracks there, which blew the whole blew the whole story up there. And that's
I will say I'm not impressed. You know, hey Ken.
Hello, Ken.
Yeah, Tack, Ezra. Yeah, I'm not impressed with the show so far, but I appreciate anything new to watch. You know, I'm there. If it's just a show for entertainment, well, I watch those too. Okay, I watched one last night. I think it's on Prime. They've got a movie called is it The Bigfoot Girl or Bigfoot Girl or something? And they made some mistakes in that one too. You know, one of the guys was talking about how he talked to one of the guys in the Patterson Gimlin film. He talked to Tom Gimlin, and I'm like, oh my god,
they got the name wrong.
And yeah, he kept referring to Bob as Tom for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, nobody stopped him. They didn't cut this out. They left that in post-production. Okay, it's in there. If you go watch it on not Netflix but Prime, you'll see. He's talking about. He's saying Tom Gimlin. I'm like, Bob.
And you know, I know there's a lot of folks out there that like watching. You know, they'll watch anything Bigfoot. I don't, unless it's really going to be quality, like Exists, you know, Willow Creek. I watch those, but you know, Return to Sasquatch Mountain 4, I'm going to pass on. It's just a slasher movie, and Bigfoot's the monster. To me, it does nothing for me except frustrate me.
Well, look, man, in the middle of winter, when you can't get outside and do anything, and you got the TV to watch, it's either TV or internet, okay? And so if you're watching TV, you're going to find yourself watching stuff like Sharknado 5, oh, hell no, you know?
Oh, hell no.
Right. And these Bigfoot movies, it's the same way. I'll watch them, and some of them, you know, if they're all entertaining in their own way. But this show here, you know, I've not really decided about whether I like it or not. I've just been, so far, it's, you know, it's dragging out a little bit. But, you know, it's okay. It's something to do if you can't sleep.
Well, I'm not hearing, I'm not hearing a lot about the characters of a TV show, and that's what really, unfortunately, you know, the reason why Finding Bigfoot lasted as long as it did, people want, you know, people even though hate him, love him, like Howard Stern, love him, hate him, people wanted to see what Moneymaker had to say next.
Right.
You know, what's he going to say this week? People wanted to see what Bobo was going to pull out. You know, what kind of, you know, characterization or what funnyism he's going to throw out there. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to have, you know, that character that character bit in there.
Right. With Expedition Bigfoot, you know, I'm watching it. Okay, I'm giving it a chance. But I will say this: Finding Bigfoot, it is not. Okay, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, you know, if I'm not incorrect, and I don't know, you correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they staying like in the same general location all the time, or are they moving around?
Supposedly they're there, and the one of the guys has went up on. I can't remember the names because they're not building their characters enough that I can remember it. But one of the guys hikes up on top of the hill there in that general area, and then the female scientist, the lady scientist there, primatologist, she's hiked up into an area just below the hill, I think, and found like an abandoned, fallen down cabin, remains of a cabin, and you know that's supposed to be interesting, I guess. I wasn't really interested in it, but maybe somebody was.
Yep, and that's what we're talking about. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it.
Well, I've been watching it, you know, but I'm like I said, I'm giving it I'm hoping. I'm giving it a chance. So far, it's not really that great, but it's not bad. Okay. The Bigfoot girl was worse.
Yeah. Any of you wrote, people were slamming it before it came out. Agreed.
Right.
If nothing else,
Yeah.
it's amazing that they got someone of Dr. Mayer's caliber.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree. I do agree.
Dr. Mayer. Yeah.
Right. But then again, one doctor, even though may have 1,000 credentials, if you don't put out the personality, season 2 could be a problem. And you know, that was the staying power of Finding Bigfoot, because you had these, you know, they had experience, but they were also characters.
Right. Got to build a character.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't build a character, they won't stay in anybody's mind.
Well, not only it won't change anybody's mind, but people switch the channel off.
Right.
You know, and that let's face it, networks don't care about finding a Bigfoot or, you know, getting great evidence. Sure, if they get something, they can turn around and turn into something that, hey, this is a Bigfoot. Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely, they're all about that. But that's not their main goal. Their main goal is to make something look interesting and build character. And their number one, what do you think their number one goal is? Ratings. Because the better the ratings, the more you can charge for advertisement. The more you can charge for advertisement, the more money the network gets. The more money the network gets, the more money the production company gets. And then that filters down to the production staff and talent. So that is, you know, what a production company is all about. I know, been there lots of times. I know the ins and outs of this business. I can say I've been blessed. I've talked about this before, about some of the edits they've cut out of the Loch Ness special.
Yeah.
But you know, particularly when it came to now I didn't mean to segue into that, but the Preston photograph, the Robert Preston photograph. I remember them cutting that out and going, you know, and it was right at the end of the show. And I was like, well, it was a great show. Made me look like a rock star, but you know, they cut out my best, you know, thing. Hey, guess what? We actually do have a Twitter. Somebody from Twitter actually came in on this. I'm surprised. BFO New Jersey, welcome. Thank you for your tweet. And yeah, that, you know, that's what you know, a lot of people are not happy with it. That I can tell. You know, there may be some people that are. I haven't seen it, so I'm not.
I'm not writing it off. I'll still watch it, but you know, it's a little slow. But
hang on, keep talking, Bennett, because if you think that is the worst Bigfoot program out there, you know.
Oh no, I've seen a lot worse. Okay, but you know, I'm one since it's winter time, I'll watch anything, and anything new is good for me. I love it, because I don't want to watch, you know, Big Sasquatch: The Legend of Bigfoot for the 58th time, you know, this week again. Oh man. But now Dr. Meyer, I mean, they showed some footage of her working along with great apes. And one of the clips that I saw was pretty interesting. She was charged by a adult male gorilla. And I'm like, okay, she turned around and got the hell out of there, which I would have too, you know. But that shows she has some experience in the field.
Now,
and, you know, that's interesting. That's a good for the show.
Yep. Ken says they have the right approach because they are embracing technology to help them, and that's why the only way they'll be found out. Well, I tend to agree with that. Yeah. Cryptoville says, I'm glad they're just aren't pushing Snapples. And Nani says, in my opinion, it's pretty much set up half and half. They have all important equipment, but no squatches. What's funny is all the tree structures and nests they find, like my grandson helped build. Why, you know, are they finding a lot of nests and stick structures?
They found a nest. They found a couple of supposed nests. One of them wasn't, but the other one was a supposed nest. But it looked like the production crew man did it.
Okay,
That's what it looks like to
wait.
me.
Nailing Twinkies to a tree. Have they done that?
I've not seen that, but you know, I could have been out of the room getting a ski, you know, and I don't have TiVo anymore, so.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. That was it coming in. We did a pre-show talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
BFO, New Jersey, and one of the things we had said that, okay, you know, Ronnie LeBlanc, he's been around a while, so yeah, he does have a little bit of experience.
Yeah.
Russell and the other guy, I think Bryce, none.
Yeah.
I'll give the doctor her credit because she's got field experience with primates.
Yeah.
Like
with great apes.
With great apes. That is, so, well, Ken, that's not true. Bobo and Cliff were squatchers for years, but yep. So yeah, BFO New Jersey is pretty pissed at the show, and I understand that. So you know, we always could bring that show back. Everybody remember that show?
I watched maybe half of one show, and then after that, I thought, "Oh no, I'm out. I'm out."
Awesome. Well, you know, give me a holler when you're up this way.
Yeah.
But you remember that show? I mean, look at them all. It looks like they're ready to take on the Sandinistas.
Well, as many shotguns as I'm seeing there, I mean, they could bird hunt for days.
What the hell are these? What are they looking to take down? A
I don't know. It's interesting, but you know, killing them's not the answer. We don't really believe in that. So
yep.
Don't really want to watch a show about killing them. So I don't think they'll ever get a chance anyway.
Speaking of the Squatch Fest that's going to be in Whitehall, New York.
Yeah.
I haven't been invited.
Oh.
And I know why. Yeah, I know why. And we'll let that one sit because
I would like to
a little
go.
while ago for that yet.
I would like to go, but it's going to take me a week to get up there, and I can't do that. Traveling just is out anymore. But you never know.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we'll talk more on that in future weeks to see how that pans out. If I get the invite or not. Let's see. I'm sure Bartholomew's got his invite. I'm sure Brandon's got his invite. Obviously, BFRO got their invite. I didn't. So, and I know why. Because there's a particular sponsor of the event.
Oh no.
Yeah, that. Well,
okay. It's not getting political, is it?
It is. It very well is.
Okay.
And I'll spell it. Oh yes, that's right. Brian Goslin is the man. If you listen to the intro of the show, we have him on every week talking, saying about what he had seen.
Yeah.
And I know, Brian and I are buds. So, so there you go. Amy feels that Dr. Mayer discovered a primate in Madagascar. She's an anthropologist and a primatologist, world traveler out the field, National Geographic ambassador. She's overqualified to be looking for a primate, show or no show. She's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not begging me to come. There's a good reason why. And but I'll keep that I'll keep that under the pillow right now, but
what did you have something? Oh.
I'm not dissing anybody. But so
did you have something on here about Kentucky a while ago, or was I just hallucinating, or what?
Oh, we forgot about. Is this the one? Man fires the gun at the Kentucky. This is in Mr. Bennett's backyard, for crying out.
Yeah. What was that music you put in there? Was that like Turkey in the Straw or something? Come on, man.
Oh,
you
by
good
the
banjo
way,
music on there.
he goes, Okay, tell us, please. Well, for the sake of being non-political tonight, because this is New Year's. This is New Year's. I'm going to have fun. And that hasn't fettered itself out quite yet. So we'll see what happens. I do have a contact, and I will be probably discussing with that. I'm just waiting for the holidays to pass to get into the scheduling of next year, because I have like 3 shows scheduled, 4 maybe. So it's getting there. Yeah. But man fires gun at Kentucky National Park after he claims he saw a Bigfoot, couple says. So this was the case where this guy comes trucking down Irish. Yeah, but Irish, it was on the Sasquatch statue. You know, that's like sacrilege at a Bigfoot conference.
That'll do it. Yep, that'd do it. Yep.
Jason, that is correct. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a new sponsor this year.
Okay.
At least they're saying there's a new sponsor. I'm not sure if that's true or not. And I don't know why they've lost my contact information all of a sudden. I'm pretty accessible.
Yeah.
Oh, here he goes. Killing Bigfoot versus Expedition. Which show is more fake of the two? Killing Bigfoot. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, and you can tell because let's face it, they're sitting in the woods. And I remember watching this. They're sitting in the woods and they have their guns and they're looking for Bigfoot. But it's not night vision, folks. They're shining a big light on them. Shining a big light on them. Of course, this is all just reenactment or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It was a precursor to Mountain Monsters, and I love Pete Van Puckhammer. He did Sasquatch Odyssey. He's been a big supporter of mine.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with that one. You know. And see now, okay, hang on. Time for the food. Yes, the Big Apple Diner has the best burgers. They also have a wonderful breakfast as well. Absolutely. But yeah, so this goober comes down. You know, I saw a Bigfoot. He runs off in the woods, and all of a sudden they hear.
Yeah.
So everybody.
He said that the Bigfoot tore up his camp, and he had his son with him. So you know, and I think he said he saw the Bigfoot in the bushes or something and fired at it. But that's the wrong thing to do. I mean, if you think you see one, you don't shoot at it. It's hard to believe that the Bigfoot would come in there and tear up his camp. I mean,
that is not actually.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not.
And the reason why I say that is, especially if he wasn't in the camp.
You
know, I go back to must have been 2006. First time I was down, 2006, 2007. 2007. First time I was down in the Four Corners National Park, and I had pulled one of the game wardens aside. And this is on the Navajo res. And he said, well, yeah, a couple of years ago. And I apologized for my Navajo accent that I try to use. But he's like, yeah, a couple of years ago, you know, these people come down and, you know, they say their camp's all tore up. They won't go back up there. They asked me to get their stuff. So I go up there, and in the snow was all these foot tracks, which is their way of saying footprints. They say foot track. And he goes, 5-toed, big, large, you know, wide. So absolutely. I've heard that. And, you know, then we have the Bauman incident that goes back to Teddy Roosevelt's Wilderness book, the Wilderness Hunter, who, when they were out setting their traps, they came back to find their campsite tore up, allegedly. You know, there's been a lot of that going on. So that may not be out in left field. That, you know, okay, I'm out hunting or I'm out doing whatever I do in the park. I come back and, you know, I see this hairy thing on the way back, and now all of a sudden my camp's all tore up.
Yeah.
You know, you know, they're curious. And I think there's a lot of times that, you know, and I speak of my 2010 when I was in my research area 1. I remember very distinctly putting my Zoom out there on one of the older H2s.
Yeah.
And left it running well. We went down and there was only 3 of us there, and we took off. and came back. And when I reviewed the audio from when we took off, you could hear something walking closer, getting closer to the mic. And you just hear this in the background. And then you hear some more walking, and that was it. 3 years later, I was in Research Area 1, and I sent a team off. It's just me and one other person sitting in the camp.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, here's this baseball-sized rock. You know, that lands. I have that over there on my shelf. You know, and it's the size of a baseball. It's a good sized rock. There's nothing like that even around there.
Right.
No, that where you find that rock is from about a quarter of a mile, half mile into the ravine.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, wow. I'm not saying it threw it a half mile, but I'm saying it grabbed it and had it, and then probably chucked it. Because, I mean, literally, you could hear this. It fell from the sky, except it wasn't burning hot. You know, it wasn't an asteroid.
Right.
So yeah, there. You know, I do think that, you know, you leave your camp. I mean, look at what we see all the time. I mean, you know, when I had my sighting, how many times have we heard campers saying they see the glowing eyes at the edge of the forest? Or they see them at the edge of the forest, or the, like I said, the woman putting up her laundry sees it at the edge of the wood line. The kids playing, and there it is, the edge of the wood line. And in my case, I go out to the car, and there it is in the wood line watching the campfire that you can clearly see in Research 1 because all the leaves have dropped. So, you know,
I talked with 2 witnesses in Kentucky, and one of them happened in this area, and they had a report. They said something had pushed on the side of their tent at night. Okay. But it didn't tear anything up, but it pushed on the side of their tent. Now, the other one was pretty cool. It was the other side of Bowling Green, Kentucky. And this guy had set up a campsite for some friends and family members. And he had woken up that night. He went to bed late, and he'd woken up. And the top of the tent was going down and up really quickly, like something was really, really beating the top of the tent.
Wow.
And he was frightened, you know, like, what's going on, you know. But they come to find out they'd found some tracks later on. And so, I don't know. He'd had some good sign in the area. I don't know if it's still a hot area or not.
You know, who knows? But Nani, who says she may have some tracks for me in down to Greenfield.
Cool.
Here's a curious little note, just a little programming note too, is that I'm really hoping that within the next 2 months, the studio will be relocating to a new home. Further into the forest.
Oh, cool.
Further into the forest. But a very huge facility, a huge garage. So and actually a bigger office. I have a big office now, but this one's even going to be bigger. So I'm really hoping that that everything goes through and we move over there. So that's
going to be fun. Moving trucks, packing, pick stuff up, put it down, pick it up, set it down. Yeah.
The only good thing about that, Chris, is that, you know, molding something again. You know, when I put the office together, it's a lot of fun. You know, okay, I want this here, I want that there. I already have the layout for that in the living room, and the way most of the things are going to set. So I'm really, really excited. And the cool thing is that if everything goes far, I'm going to have my own little bar in the house too. I'm going to have a bar in the house. So I have a bar now in the house. It's just kind of crowded, but you know, compared to what this is, it's like, wow, I can actually have a bar area and a table for the bar too. Just I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Good deal.
And then, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll get a remote cam and we'll walk around the house and we'll go to the bar and we'll have a show from the bar instead. That's Detective Ray. And I saw the Bigfootises, and
I think we need to do a show from out in the woods, like do a uplink or something, or cellular. You get on top of a hill and camp out. Now that would be good, live from the woods.
Yeah, but who's going to run the switchboard?
Yeah, that would be difficult.
Yeah. But what we can do is take video in the woods and bring it back, which is what we're planning on doing a lot for next year. If things start to roll out, the field starts to roll out.
Yeah.
So, so I think we've buried that. Hey, let's talk about this here, the FBI story.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of big news. Unfortunately, it was the sad thing about it is it really put a boot in our asses again.
Yeah.
You know,
well, Peter Burns anyway, you know.
You know, and of all things, they were friggin' ungulate. Like, come on, that's, you know, I hate to disparage. I hate to disparage any of the four horsemen, but you know, they each have had their own little trip ups that still stand in history.
Right.
You know, and to go down, John Green had the Blue Ridge Mountain tracks, which looked to me exactly like Ray Wallace's stompers. Exactly.
Yeah. Even with the split. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. We had the Grover Krantz always found the cripple foot.
Right.
You know, and the Bossberg cripple foot, and you know,
Mossberg,
people are even reselling those. You go to a show, somebody will have a replica of the Bossberg cripple foot for sale.
Yes.
The sad thing, you know, Rennie DeHinden got the credit for the find, but a lot of people don't know the story, and you have to read his book, Bigfoot Sasquatch, written by him and Don Hunter. And it was Ivan Marks, who was Biscardi's mentor, that had found the track. And he had pulled the car over, and within a few minutes, he came back and said, we got a track. And that was the Bosberg Cripplefoot. Yes. Marks found it.
If I'm not mistaken, Steve, we exposed that with a photo of the track on one of the shows we did from years ago. Maybe we need to revisit that.
We may. But a lot of people didn't know that. And I actually, what it was people saying, well, you know, I want the reference. I want the reference.
Right.
Here's the book. And I pull out the page. It was like page 232 or 234 or somewhere around that. In the book, it talks about the Bosberg Cripplefoot and how it was found. And, you know, March was driving and they stopped and he got out and then they came back. Oh, we got a print. Come on. Yeah. And then months later, he came out with the limping Bigfoot. That was the Cripplefoot.
Yeah.
Right. So it was all a setup.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think Dr. Krantz fell for it. And that happens because Dr. Warren Cook thought the world of Ivan Marks and Peggy Marks. And, you know, even after the videos, and he even said that, you know, the video or the film they have of the creature does not conform to what we know about these creatures. Its head's not conical. It has shoulders, you know, it seems to be, but he couldn't wrap his mind around it because he had met these people, stayed with them, broke bread with them. He couldn't wrap around he couldn't wrap around his head that they conned him.
Yeah.
Into believing that this crappy video was real, that he was trying to sell for $25,000. And actually, it was Peter Byrne who exposed that. Yeah. So, and that news story broke too, you know. Yeah. And then, surprisingly, you know, after that, Marks went missing to those guys. You never talked to him, never. You just, So, okay, well, thank you, Larry. I will get through my messages again, and we'll get in touch, brother. I'll look you up. We'll get in touch. So, you know, it just goes to show you.
Well, one of the big selling points that Grover Krantz had was his recreation of the bone structure on the Bossberg cripple print.
I mean, each one of them has great contributions to the field.
Yes, yes.
But they're human. They're all human.
Right.
And, you know, they're not gods. They're not perfect. They've made mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, and Peter Byrne in this case, turning hair, which he should have. I mean, he's the big game hunter.
Yeah.
You know, and then he gave up hunting and went and searched for the Yeti, and then he went and searched for the Sasquatch, you know, the Tom Slick expeditions. And he didn't know what a, pardon the French, an effing hair, deer hair looks like, an ungulate hair. Come on. You know, we dropped the ball somewhere. You can't take it yourself and throw it under a little microscope with all, you know, no offense, but with all the money that you were getting in funding from different schools and stuff. You know,
dude, you can get a decent microscope for about $80.
Well, in the 70s, it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
You know, in the 70s, you didn't have the digital amplifications that you have today. So yeah, they weren't as you know, cheap back then. I remember looking at microscopes before digital, and they were you know, $200 plus, and you know, that was back in the you know, 2000. When we were still using 3 megapixel cameras. And it's amazing how in 19 years, I mean, when I got into this, the internet was just starting to spread its wings, and it's amazing how technology has come forward to where I can buy for under $100 a decent microscope that I can take a picture of the thing and have it on the computer.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you know, folks, if you're, you know,
it's so handy because you could like put something, take a picture on, snap a shot of it under the microscope, email it to somebody else and say, hey, I want you to look at this. Exactly. And then they can, within 5 minutes, they can email you back and they say, oh, well, that looks like a deer. I mean, a deer hair or a bear hair, you know, you know, boom, information. We love it.
Well, years ago, I found a pile of scat, and I was very confused by it because it was so large. So I took a picture of it and sent it to somebody, and she turned around and she, you know, worked for the forestry department, Kathy Strain, and she came up, nope, that's bear. Okay, thank you. That's what I needed to know. Wasn't sure. First time I had run across it.
Yeah.
You know, and that was years ago. You know, that's how you learn, by asking others.
That's right.
You know, and that's what's missing in a lot of the field today. A lot. You know, I've had people, you know, some researchers or so-called researchers send me a picture. What do you think of this? And I tell them, oh, well, that just can't be. Well, what? Then why the hell are you asking me for? That's how you learn, by saying, no, this is not a Bigfoot track. This is what it is. Now, I have some folks out there that get tracks or something, and they send them to me, and they say, okay, yep, I got you. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to do just fine. The problem I have is with some people is, you know, they get something, it's Bigfoot, and you're not going to change their mind. They're not real researchers. They're not honest. This, folks, and I'll say this too, is something I forgot completely about when, you know, because we were having a little, you know, trying to get things torqued up for the show, trying to figure out what was wrong. We figured it out as usual. Yeah. And another person popped in to say hi. Hello, Cheryl. Good to see you.
Cheryl, welcome.
One of the things that one of the hashtags we're going to start using for this show is hashtag not clickbait. Hashtag not clickbait, because this show, we talk real world stuff. We're not talking about, you know, we're not the show that miraculously gets this witness that's had these spectacular Bigfoot encounters every week. You know, not pointing fingers, not passing judgment, but it seems a little bizarre that somebody can have a show 52 times a year and have 52 different witnesses telling incredible Bigfoot stories. Especially when they haven't been in the field as long as I have and hasn't many connections as I do. You may find maybe about 4 or 5 good witnesses a year, and then you may just find 1 or 2 or maybe 3 that'll come on a radio show or this kind of podcast that would actually talk about it.
Yeah.
You know,
witnessing one of these things is not something that people's proud of. Really, the average person don't even want to talk about it.
Right, and the other thing too is that when I start doing field stuff again, when the weather breaks, because it's piss poor and miserable out there, especially tonight, we're getting an ice storm. When you know we start doing field stuff, guess where I'll be showing that here, but not because of clickbait. I'm going to tell you, chances are the field stuff you see, you're probably not going to see a Bigfoot, but what you're always going to get, you know, hopefully some educational material, some ideas, the way we do things. Maybe you can give us input and tell us how we can do things better.
Yeah.
That's what this show is about. We're not clickbait. Hashtag not clickbait. We're not here to put anybody down unless you're hoaxing or you're doing bad research. That's, to me, this is looking at 2020. You know, that to me says a lot. You know, we showed the video of the guy stepping in tracks or whatever. And hell, does that happen? Yes, it does. Yeah. Absolutely. I laugh at it because why in the hell would you put that out there?
Oh, well.
I don't get it. Well, just the guy might be, I'm not saying I don't know the guy personally. I'm probably a sweet guy, a good-hearted guy. I'm just going to put that out there because that's what it was. I didn't want to, and I can understand that. Well, if I edit it, then people say I fake stuff.
Yeah,
and I can see that point too.
Yeah.
And here's a question from why can't hounds track a Bigfoot? Here's the interesting thing. I've heard they can. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
There was that story from Fouke, Arkansas. Again, I don't know how true it is because I wasn't there. I was only 2. But they brought in some bloodhounds, and those hounds got the scent, and they started to go, and they stopped, and they wouldn't go any further.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get reports about dogs and Bigfoot, and some of the reports say, "Oh yeah, I saw a Bigfoot and my dog took after it." That's the ones I kind of I walk a wide circle around because, from my experience, our dog, which was not afraid of anything, was cowering and wanted to go in the house anywhere but outside.
And you had the experience with that.
And this that it does something to them. I don't know. There's dogs. If you see a real creature that's not somebody in a suit, okay, dogs do not want to mess with that.
Nope.
I don't know why.
I met Chris 13 years ago doing an investigation, and he was a researcher, but doing an investigation on his property. Yeah. And I remember looking at the old mobile home you had on the property that had the window smashed out, but the window smashed out was a good 10 feet above my head. So something 8 foot tall would have had to have, or 7 foot tall would have to have broke that window the way in, and it was broken in.
That was the thing. Yeah. It was the mobile home trailer had been broken into. And something had smashed this window. And it was probably, I'm saying, I don't remember, Steve. It was probably 8 feet, maybe, or 7 feet, 8 feet, or it might have been a little bit more. I can't remember, off the ground. And whatever had broken this window had grabbed the door right in the center where that window was broken out, and had ripped the door open, pulled it open, just like you would grab it and.
Yep.
And it pulled out the door jamb from the wall, and the door was kind of U-shaped. And the state trooper had to come in and investigate this because it was a break-in. Okay. And he said, I couldn't figure it out. He said, obviously, he said, this has not been kicked out from the inside. He said, somebody outside broke the window and opened it from the outside. But why? I said, I don't know either. There's nothing in here to steal,
Yeah. And the thing is that you reach the doorknob, you don't have the leverage to pull it out.
Right.
Unless you're looking at the doorknob like this and you can yank it out. I mean,
that was the other thing that the state trooper was puzzled by, Steve. He said, look, I don't understand. If they broke the window out, why didn't they just reach over and unlock the door? You know, I mean, the doorknob is right there. They could have just unlock the door and open the door, but instead they pulled it off the hinges.
You're right. Hang on a second, Chris. I'm going to pull something up.
I can't remember if you still got that photo. Are you standing there by that? I can't remember how high that was off the ground. I remember it was over your head, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, I never expect, you know, this is, I'm trying to, there we are.
Well, we had a problem keeping, that was a rental property. There was a couple of them over there. And it's next to just a little small patch of woods. And we had a little problem keeping people over there. Some would report hearing noises, you know, that they didn't like. But we had one woman that stayed over there for a long time. And she never complained about anything. So
I'm getting there, Chris. I promise you.
But on that property, though, it was really weird. We'd never have anything happen during the year. Just in the spring and in the fall, we would have a little activity. And, you know, there's not any place for them to hide year round. So I'm assuming they were just moving through the area or doing whatever it is they do. But there is a creek, though, over just off the property. So, you know, that was one thing I was considering, that they were using that creek to travel. And they may have just checked out the farm. Well, we had apples, we had plums, we had a lot of fruit trees there. Might have stopped off for a snack.
You know, I am very upset I can't find these right now. Of course, Murphy's Law.
Yeah, when you're looking for it, you won't find it. But when you're not,
and the funny thing is 10 minutes after. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Maybe. No bueno.
You know,
no bueno.
The nice thing is that I had all these photographs and stuff on a external hard drive for protection in case my computer failed. And the problem was the external hard drive failed.
But yeah, no bueno. I'm sorry, I have a picture somewhere of that particular, and we'll have to show it another night.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
But I certainly tried.
Yeah, best I remember, it was over your head. I'm not.
Mike said if I had my coonhounds get stone cold scared and figured it was a mountain lion or bear, but there are hounds that track them in larger groups of hounds scared and not scared. Weird.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what you heard, that dogs kind of cower. Now, if you think about it, over the years there have been a lot of these Bigfoot coyote correlations.
Right.
I've heard other researchers mention it too. Like, you hear these coyotes howling, then you hear something else in those coyotes howling. You hear like a very deep, and then you hear usually a coyote sounding like it's getting its neck broken, or eviscerated. So yeah, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but when I was in Kentucky, Land Between the Lakes, I heard exactly that.
Yeah,
and then after the one yelped and screamed, everything went silent.
Yeah,
and I've heard other people report that.
Well, after I got that footage, the hillside footage video, when we had walked back about 100 yards away, we heard coyotes from that area, or coyote sounds. I don't know if coyotes was making it or not. I didn't see what was making it, but we heard those noises.
Yeah.
And
dang it, Chris! I wish I could find those pictures. And that's sticking in my craw right now.
It's been a while, Steve. The best I can remember, if you're standing on the ground, it was over your head.
Question 2: How come when it's deer season, etc., tens of thousands of hunters in a state, why isn't there mass sightings? Well, because usually hunting groups, you know, there have been reports where a couple of hunters, even I think as many as 3 or 4 hunters, have all had some experience or saw something that should have not have been in the woods. But I think really, you think about it, if you see 5 armed individuals, or you see you know, let's just take it this way: you see 5 coyote walking in the woods. What do? I ain't going anywhere near them to watch them.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Especially when they're walking around and trying to be stealthy. You know, that you know, I've taken in so many reports and heard so many stories over the year. I remember interviewing somebody that he was hunting, and it may have even been one of our guests here on the show. Over the years, you got to understand that we've been doing this show since, well, I've been doing this show since 2006. Chris joined me in 2010 permanently. So Chris has been on the show 9 years already, Chris.
Yeah.
He's been on this a decade. So, you know, I've only been here maybe, you know, 3.5 years longer than Chris has. So, but, you know, when you think about it, next year is our 14th year. September will be 14 years. September will be 14 years of doing podcasts between our Blog Talk Radio days and here. And
well, and we do have some reports from hunters in Kentucky, deer hunters that do witness these things. One is from Barron County, which is over there next to Mammoth Cave. This guy was hunting near there. All the deer hunters love to hunt the farms that join Mammoth Cave because, of course, you can't go hunting on the Mammoth Cave property, but they have literally thousands of deer there. And they get fat all year, so everybody hunts on the properties just outside the property line of the Mammoth Cave National Park. And there's a guy, his name was Chris, not me, but he reported seeing and smelling a Bigfoot over there while he was in his deer stand. And so it does happen, you know. A lot of times the guys, you know, are asked, well, why didn't you shoot it? And usually they'll give the same answer. Well, you know, I thought it looked human. It might be somebody in a suit or something. You know, you never know. Most guys who deer hunt have enough sense to wear orange, but then again, you could have some dummy wearing a ghillie suit, you know, and if that was the case, I'd hate to shoot him.
Yeah. You know, well, the other kicker is too, like when Brian Goslin had his sighting, he very much talked about not shooting at it. This is what I was looking at. He was very much did not want to talk about shooting it because, for the mere fact, oh, that's right, dang it, it no longer supports that movie file.
Oh man.
Oh, here we are. Well, take a look at this. Here's a guy who was a Field and Stream. He passed away last year, and yes, he got a picture. He got a blob squatch, but I never consider a blob squatch unless let me just double check that. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. I don't consider a blob squatch when there is somebody there to see it. So here, take a look at this. This should be the one. We're doing this off the cuff, so.
Before dark, 5:15, I was hunting, deer hunting, and I seen this big thing come out of the swamp down here, 100 yards away. I pulled a gun up. I had a high-powered 30-06 with a big scope on it. Pulled the gun up, and this thing looks at me. I thought it was a bear, and as I looked at it, it was no bear. It was standing on 2 legs and had a big gorilla face to it. And I went back in the woods, and a minute later, it come back out again. I pulled the gun up again, looked at it, and it went back in the woods. Well, this happened on the 4th time it came out of the woods. I had the gun on it. I set my rifle down here. I got my little pocket camera out, and I snapped a picture of this creature down there. close-up shot of it. We did get the pictures enlarged. It does show Bigfoot, but you know, this is very wild country. There's a swamp down here. You're talking 80 miles straight across all wilderness right here. On both sides of us, we know the boulder I'm in front of here. It goes right to Canada.
You know, we're out here in the Black River, and Dad has said that this is an area where... Wow, boy, that background music really isn't very good. So anyway, that covers the that one port. I'm trying to, but yeah, he that was Adirondack Jack Leach.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jack passed away this year. Good guy, a lot of fun. You know, been.
There's another hunter who gives his encounter on. Let's see, it's Philip Spencer's documentary he did, The Wild Man of Kentucky.
Yep.
And I think that's probably still out there on DVD. I'm not sure if you can watch it online anywhere, but he experienced, he had a sighting while he was bow hunting, and he had his son with him. And although, you know, he had a 357 Magnum pistol in his overalls, which he wasn't supposed to have while he was bow hunting, but it unnerved him so much. You know, he pushed his son behind him, and he reached for that pistol. And so, you know, people do see these things. Hunters do see these things, but nobody has seemed to have taken a shot at one. Or if they have, they didn't hit it or didn't hit it in a good spot. I don't know. But yeah, that's a common report every year.
Yeah, and what you're looking at is that's the actual woods area that he had actually shot that picture from.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, I have some meticulous. Anytime I investigate, I have some really meticulous things. I do have the raw video of that without the music, unfortunately. Bad. You know, I produced that probably. Going on probably about 10 years ago. So the audio on that is not the greatest.
Yeah.
You know, the mixing wasn't. I'm much better at it now. Thank God. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a show now.
That's an interesting area, and it's a lot of green low to the ground too. I mean, I'll bet you I could go 15 feet in there and squat down, and you'd never see me.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's so I can understand where he got, you know, this kind of picture,
right,
from that. You know,
right.
It's just he did the best he could
right.
with that. So, you know, it is what it is. Oops, wrong button. Hang on. Whoops. So anyway, let me get rid of that. Let's go back to our discussion here. And of course, finally, we got about 20 minutes left to show or so. So that's how long this conversation has gone on. I mean,
oh man,
what I love about it, I mean, it's 25 minutes to 11 already here. So it's gone by so fast, hasn't it?
It does, yeah.
It really goes by fast when you get these, and that's what I love about our audience is that they kind of steer us where the discussion goes. So if you have something you want to bring up, you know, put it out there and chat. We'll talk about it. That's what the show is about. And some great questions. Thank you, Mike, for the questions. We appreciate that, and thank you for everybody that joins us every week. And again, if you're on YouTube, please hit the bell, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you like what you see. If not, well, nothing I can do about it.
Just like Bartles and James, we thank you for your support.
We thank you for your support. But finally, and one of my favorite graphics.
Oh boy.
And of course, the cartoon says, "Find out who's been searching for you."
Yeah.
And of course, when I think of The Godfather, I think of the wrestler, The Godfather. So, well, a little copy and paste there.
Oh.
Brought to you by Snapple. Well, but
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Hang on. Yeah, you're gonna love this. We haven't run this in a while. And I think it's time. Just for fun, just because it's the New Year's. It's coming. Here it is. Here it comes. You ready?
Ready.
Or not. Well, that worked out well, didn't it? Something ain't working right. Whoops. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, man. Don't tell me.
Hang on. Which one did I click on? Let's try this one. Oh, hang on. That was number 1. I love technical difficulty. I don't know why that's doing that. Oh. I don't know what happened to it.
We're getting close.
Did we just suddenly lose the the internet?
Oh, man.
Don't tell me that happened again. Because it's not streaming well at all.
Oh, I wanted to see this commercial bad. Please work.
Man. Yeah. So let me try one last thing. We'll see if we can't pull this one off, folks. But
Men in Black.
Yeah, that should I don't know if it got corrupted or what.
Oh, man.
It's just not working right. It's not piping right.
Yeah.
Which kind of worries me about the rest of the show.
Oh, man.
So that's kind of because
it was like playing really slow.
Yeah, we have a big technical difficulty going on right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can't even end the show with a bumper. It's not working. Not working.
Well, I hope the show's still working.
Oh, it is.
Everybody still out there? Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, because Walt says, no, I really don't, but I have shared the stage with him quite a few times. I've had some dinner with him a few times, shared some good conversations with him a few times. So I'm going to try something real quick. I don't know if this is going to screw up. Yep, it would. Okay, never mind. Whoops. And BJ asks, has anyone heard from Billy Green? No, we haven't.
No,
not
BJ,
quite.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Bill.
I'm just trying something else. Yeah. Looks like my media player has pooped out.
Oh, man.
But that's okay because we always have a backup plan.
But, yeah, Bill Green used to be every show, you know. And matter of fact, not just our show. He would be on all the Bigfoot podcasts and stuff. And I don't know what happened to Bill.
No,
I hope he's okay.
Well, I do know he's out there.
Yeah.
I have spoken with him, or not necessarily spoken with him, but I did, chat with him via Messenger. And I don't know why he's not as active as he used to be.
Right. He may be busy. He may have put Bigfoot on the back burner for a little while, and some people tend to do that, and that's okay. But I'd just like to hear from him, see if he's okay.
Hmm.
You still trying to pull the difficulties?
I'm having some technical difficulties, but I just heard a tree hit.
Oh no!
I heard a tree come down hard because my whole house just shook.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Well, on that note, maybe we better just end a little early and you go check out your house. Make sure you're not on fire.
That was the last time I heard that a tree came down. So I just want to make sure that now they're bombing me.
Oh no!
Here's Mike's story. My parents and me in 1977, small juvenile one around the base of Pikes Peak. It's the size of a 6-year-old kid. Dad thought it was a monkey at first. Got out of the car and tried to lure it closer with an apple. Quickly, he saw it want what it was, and quickly he saw it and it went and it trotted back into the woods. We left in a hurry. I was 10. Wow,
that is a good memory, Mike.
Yeah, well, sometimes. They hardly told anyone but only family. Well, thank you for sharing that, Mike.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. So, yeah, I don't know why the media player pooped out all of a sudden. It's like we're not even I tried another video player, but it's not piping out any sound.
Oh man.
So I'm not entirely sure what is going on, unless this could be an issue. Oh, there we are.
Well, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have some few technical issues.
Yeah, never. Not quite sure why that's not playing audio at all. But
I'm a hardware guy, but I'm not a software guy. I'm not very good with the programs.
No, I'm not sure if I just tanked all my memory on the computer, and that's the reason why it's not. That's why I tried to control alt delete.
Yeah, and check on the
and check on that. But people are hearing us through this, so I'm not muted. So yeah. I'm thinking maybe there's a record level on the oh, that would be it. Okay, let's try this. Nope, still not working. So I have no idea. I think
that's okay, man. We'll skip it.
Yep.
Maybe we can watch it next week.
Yeah. But anyway, let's not end with this goober on the page either.
Well, I'm worried about the tree on your house, dude. Hope it didn't fall on your vehicle.
I actually hope it did.
Says the man with full coverage.
That's right. That would be a shame.
Oh man.
Oops. And give me, pardon the French, but give me a good fucking excuse to call in tomorrow.
Sorry, my truck.
But anyway, and for folks who met me, I am very cantankerous normally, but I'm also I try to be a humble guy. I can't do this podcast without you guys' support, so I really appreciate y'all being out here and spending time with me and Chris every week. It means the world to me. I hope this last year has been good to all you guys. If not, I pray, as I am a religious guy, I will pray for you guys that 2020 will be a much better year, regardless if you had a good year or a bad year. I hope 2020 is even a better year if you've had a good year, and if you've had a bad year, that 2020 makes up for the bad year. So, folks, on behalf of me and Chris, I God bless everybody. I really, really appreciate y'all being here. You know, you mean the world to me, whether you know it or not, you do. It's why I do this. It's why I try to have a little fun. That's why I interdict a little bit of my life, because I want you guys to feel like you know me too. Like I know a lot of you guys. So I really appreciate you being out there. And, you know, we'll definitely keep this up, this mad pace up, and we'll get the bugs out of the system yet, I swear. It's probably my fault, Chris, because I didn't restart the desktop before the show and clean out the memory that was probably already taken. But that's okay. But anyway, guys, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Enjoy your night. Be safe. Remember, if you're going out New Year's Eve can be amateur hour out there. So, because a lot of people out there are inebriated. But just be careful. Be careful driving. Don't drink and drive. Absolutely don't drink and drive. Have a designated driver. Myself, I'm only going down a mile down the road, and I have a DD. So, folks, again, happy holidays. And God bless. Chris, anything you want to add to that?
I just want to thank everybody for joining us. We appreciate you having us with a year, or having you with us through the year. And welcome everybody to come join us for 2020.
Amen.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Okay, folks, keep on squatching. No outro tonight, so you get to see my ugly mug on the way out the door. Catch you all next week. Same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. YouTube.com/Steve Kulls. Facebook.com/Steve.Kulls. Twitter.com/SquatchD-TV, SquatchDet. SquatchDetective.com and SquatchD-TV.com. We'll catch you all here next week. See you in 2020, folks.
Good night.